What makes a man a man? I mean, apart from his DNA when he's born, what turns a boy into a man by society standards? What does he have to go through or achieve in order to be a man? You know, men often want to become a man, particularly for women, in order to attract more women. Hello and welcome back to my channel. And in this video, I'm going to be discussing the insights from the female perspective of what women consider to be manly. And it's not about money, as so many men often think. Number one is emotional maturity and stability. A man is supposed to have control of his emotions. You know, about a generation or two ago, the complaints that so many women had about men was that men were too stoic, meaning they did not show their emotions, they never cried, they avoided emotional conversations, and women wanted men to be more open with their emotions. But now, which is often what happens when people are trying to change something, they go all the way to the opposite end of the spectrum. And these days in modern society, we have a lot of men who are over emotional and are coming off as extremely feminine because of it. Last time I checked, only one gender has a menstrual cycle and therefore has a fluctuation of hormones and experiences PMS, which is a very valid excuse and reason as to why women tend to be more emotional. Men do not have this excuse. One thing that women find very sexy and attractive is when a man can come with his male energy and his testosterone and stabilize a woman's emotions and make her feel calm and safe. So for example, if a woman is upset about something, if she's crying, if she feels fearful and scared, when a man comes with his stable emotions and emotional maturity, he has the power to calm her and make her feel safe. That is what women consider to be a man, not when the woman is the one who is more emotionally mature and has to constantly be pacifying a man's emotions and overreactions. Men are not supposed to be petty, especially in relationship with women. This does not show maturity. There's a lot of men these days that will start acting out if a woman simply does not even reply within the hour the way he wants. And they'll be like, oh, she didn't text me in an hour? Okay, well, I'm gonna ghost her for 1 week and teach her a lesson. That is called being over emotional. Emotions is not just about crying. Emotional immaturity is more about how you act out in your behavior. Number two is responsibility. You cannot consider yourself to truly be a man if you do not have responsibilities. You don't have any responsibilities, you don't have any bills, you don't have any achievements at this point, and you have way too much free time to be doing things that is not contributing to you as a man, like wasting hours on video games, wasting hours on useless YouTube videos, wasting hours watching porn. These are boyish behaviors. That's why the Bible says a man shall leave his mother and father and then cleave to his wife. So the requirement is leave your mother and father, which represents being independent, being able to stand on your own 2 feet as a man in order to provide a home for a wife and future children. One of the greatest things in modern society that I think has really made modern men less responsible is making relationships 50-50 in terms of providing, because back then a man had no choice but to provide. And I think that pushed every man in society, as in every single man in society, because there was no other option, to be strong and to be ready and prepared to uphold himself and a family. Whereas these days it's not a must. Things have greatly changed. Men don't have to hunt. Men don't have to farm. Men don't have to provide for the survival of their families in the same way. And that's why a lot of men aren't even capable of doing this anymore. And instead of pushing themselves to be better and be stronger, they would rather complain about how women are expecting too much and how dare a girl think that I'm going to pay for dates. No, it should be 50-50. A man should have responsibilities. Number three is leadership. Men used to truly be natural born leaders. Again, because in past societies, this was their job. This was encouraged. Past societies had strict gender roles, whereas modern society, the focus is actually on women being leaders more than anything. And that's why you have a lot more female leaders today. And I support female education, empowerment, leadership, and all of that. But unfortunately, it seems like male leadership has been diminished because while women are being encouraged to be stronger, be more educated, and be leaders, men are being encouraged to not be held by the traditional gender roles and requirements of men. Men are being encouraged to cry. And there's nothing wrong with crying. Every human being cries. But it seems that men are really being encouraged to tap into their emotional side in super unnecessary ways. Men are being encouraged to be stay-at-home fathers who don't contribute income to the household. And you know, it's okay if your wife is the breadwinner and she pays all the bills and you stay at home with the kids. It's one thing when unexpected life event creates this circumstance, like let's say the man temporarily loses his job or something like that. It's another thing when this is being promoted to be the norm and the chosen option. Men are literally being encouraged to wear dresses. But anyway, back to leadership. As a man, can you make decisions? Do you have a plan? Do you have a vision for yourself and your family? Women look for this leadership quality even from day one. That's why a lot of women want men to plan the date. And they are turned off by men that cannot even plan a simple date. Because planning a date shows leadership, it shows decision making, and it shows vision. And women feel most secure and attracted to these type of men. In order to be the head of a household, you have to have leadership abilities. Being the head of the household is not about being controlling and being served by your woman. It's actually about responsibility and recognizing that the well-being of your family mainly falls on your shoulders first as the man and as the head of the household. So if you cannot lead, there's no way you should truly expect to be the head of your household. Number 4, you have to be hardworking. Being a man is about being hardworking. God made Adam work before and after the fall. So work is such an important part of being a man. And work ties into responsibility and ties into provision, being able to provide for your family. A hardworking man will never be okay with taking a back seat and watching his wife be the sole provider of the family. A hardworking man will not even be okay with being a stay-at-home husband or dad because he'll understand that he needs to go out there and hunt or work. Hardworking man will do what he needs to do in order to make money in the good and clean ways, of course. A hardworking man will always be thinking of what he can do next, always be thinking of how he can provide more. Number 5, last but not least, is self-control and principle. A man must have self-control. He must have self-control financially, emotionally, and especially sexually. You know, a lot of modern men believe that the more women a man sleeps with, the more manly he is because having sex with women is what makes you a man. But this belief could not be furthest from the truth. A man who has sexual self-control is a wise man because he realizes that he gives his power away with the more women that he sleeps with. A sexually promiscuous man who lacks self-control opens himself up to a higher risk of an STD, unwanted pregnancies that leads to broken families and thus broken legacies, depletion of money because multiple women cost a lot of money, and if these multiple women are having multiple kids, that also costs a lot of money. It also says a lot about a man's character when he does not have the ability to say no to a woman, especially for sex. There's a lot of men who won't even be attracted to a woman, but they'll still go sleep with her because they lack that self-control, and it shows desperation to get sex from anywhere, even if it's from a woman whom he finds very degrading. This is childish behavior. Only a boy should have trouble controlling his behavior and hormones. A man of principle is a matured man, and he will have more control over his life and be able to produce good fruits in his life. A man of self-control will not find himself in unnecessary troubles and scandals. What truly keeps a man principled, especially sexually, is submission to God first. You have to be submitted to God because it's important for a man to be accountable to someone, and there's no one greater than God. You see, most men, they won't really fear their women. They won't really fear mom or dad anymore once they become a man, but you will always fear God because you know God has your life in his hands and can deal with you at any moment. Being in submission to God gives you that motivation to live a principled and self-controlled life, which in turn benefits you and will truly truly keep a man walking that straight line, having focus and having control over his behaviors. So that's it for this video. These are the 5 things that truly make a man a man. A man that's ready and prepared for a family, to leave a great legacy, and a man that's a great member of society. Please share in the comments below, what else do you think makes a man, whether you're a woman or a man. If you like this video, please hit the like button and give me a thumbs up, and also subscribe for more, because over here we have insightful discussions, self-improvement, faith talks, and content that's geared to truly open up your mind and make you wiser. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.